Hey everyone, this is Nabs Ventures N.A.Y, and welcome to the Pet Talk. In this episode, we have with us Emily from Boogie Down Pets. This video is divided into two parts, the introduction and the main questions. So, let's get started. Hi! Please tell us a little about yourself, your Instagram account, and your blog.
Hey everyone, my name is Emily. I've been a pet parent for 5 years and I've worked with animals for about 4.5. I've been a dog walker. I was the manager of a doggy daycare in Manhattan. Recently, I enrolled in a vet tech program with Ashworth College. A few weeks ago, I decided to create my own blog. It's boogiedownpets.com. It's basically about all the stuff that I've learned over the years about being a pet owner, and as well as, stuff that I continue to learn because, when you have a pet, like there's just always something new for you to learn about. And I just thought it'd be cool to put that, in blog format for my friends and family to read. I'm also on Instagram, boogie_down_pets. Um, yeah, I think that's pretty much, everything to know about me.
Wow, that's amazing. Which pets do you have? And it would be great if you could tell us more about each of your pets.
I have 4 pets, so I'll just talk about them like in the order that they came into my life. My first cat I got 5 years ago. His name is Oliver. He is a gray and white tuxedo kitty. I okay, this is kind of weird, funny story, but I actually got him from like a homeless man that used to hang around. Like, I used to work in a factory in the South Bronx, and I was just like on my lunch break, and he was well known in the area, so I knew him. His name was Smokey, and he just came up to me and he said that, he saw that a stray cat had a litter of kittens and he was just getting them all homes, and he just had this one last one. And I was not looking for a pet at all. Like, it was nowhere on my mind, but I saw him for the first time, and not to sound corny, but it was kind of like destiny. Like, I just saw him and I was just like, oh my God, like I have to take him home. I have to have him. Um, so he's been with me ever since, and honestly, like he's the one that started, this passion for animal care that I have now. Because when I first got him, I knew only like the very basics about cats, and I just, set out to learn as much as I could because I wanted to be the very best pet owner for him. I wanted to give him the best of everything. And once I got started, it was just, kind of snowballed into like where I'm at now. Um, so yeah, so about a year after I got Oliver, I saw on Facebook somebody posted that they found a kitten, a black, like all black kitten in a box under the train station, and they were looking for a home for him. I was already looking for a companion for Oliver, and like it was already kind of like in my head that I wanted to do that. So when I saw this posting, I was just like, oh man, like that's fate, it's perfect. I'll just take him. And that's how Spooky came into our lives. He was just a few weeks old, like I said, all black. He was infested with fleas. He was super skinny. But other than that, was, pretty healthy. Um, so yeah, so he's so sweet. He's shy. He loves to cuddle. He loves to follow me around the apartment. He is like kind of Oliver's opposite in that way because Oliver is more adventurous, more independent, a little more brave. He's a little grown man. He just wants to do his own thing, where Spooky's just like, I don't know, my little baby who just always wants to be attached at the hip. Um, and then third, uh, came Bishop. Bishop's been with us since January of 2019. He came to us actually through my boyfriend's sister. Now, she's like literally this is like one of the worst kind of people in my opinion, because she had Bishop since he was a puppy, and then she just decided that she wanted, a puppy again, and Bishop by this point is like 8, 9 years old. He didn't fit the bill. So she just like kind of wanted to trade him in. So she called us up and said, hey, like, do you guys want to take him? Because if not, I'm going to surrender him to the shelter. And there was just no way I could let that happen. That doesn't sit well with me at all. So we took him in, and he's another one that's so sweet. He's a American Pitbull Terrier. He's 70 to 75 pounds, but he's just a gentle giant. He is so sweet. He is so patient, so loving with the cats, even when they are so nasty to him. He's just the sweetest. And most recently, our newest addition is DJ. DJ is 10 weeks old. She's also American Pit Bull Terrier. Um, she she's a whole lot of puppy. I mean, I don't know what else to say. She's a rebel. She's a fighter. Not in like a serious way, like with her toys and uh hands, and she loves to like bite ankles. She's just only been in our family for 2 weeks, so everything is very new for her, and we're in the process of um teaching her what behaviors are appropriate versus what's not, and potty training and all that. But she's such a sweetheart already. We love her so much. It's weird. It's kind of like she's always been here. Um, and yeah, I mean, she's just great. I can't wait to see, what kind of dog she'll turn into in a few months.
It's so nice to know how all of them came into your life, and absolutely, it does seem as though they were all meant to unite and you were all meant to know each other. And yeah. So, next question. What's your dream pet?
If my dream pet, okay, so again, not to sound corny, but the pets that I have now, they are my dream pets. They are also different. They each like bring something different to my life, and like I can't, imagine it any other way. But I will say I've always wanted a pug. Pugs are so freaking cute to me. I think if we ever add another pet to this little pack that we have growing here, I think I'd go for a pug.
It was great getting to know you better. Now let's move on to the main questions. The first one is, if a person were to ask you why it's better to adopt, what would be your answer?
Okay, so adopt, do not shop. It's so important. I can't stress it enough. It's so important. Adopt, do not shop. Um, there are so many shelters and rescue organizations that are overcrowded, with sweet and amazing cats and dogs waiting for the right home. Um, and even with some of these shelters, so many cats and dogs are euthanized all the time because simply there's just not enough space, there's no homes for them. Um, and these pets can be healthy good condition. Like there was no, just the fact that there's nowhere for them to go is why they had to die. And to me, that is just like one of the most heartbreaking things. Um, when you adopt a cat or a dog, not only are you giving that animal a loving home, you're also helping to make space for another cat or dog that needs that help. I know a lot of people, they want to go to like the pet shops and whatever because they're looking for a specific breed, and they want the puppy or the cute little kitten, which, and I understand, but I think that a lot of people don't consider that, one, a lot of these kittens and puppies come from puppy and kitten mills where dogs and cats are overbred and they live in terrible, terrible conditions. And by buying these pets, you're supporting that practice. Um, it's just that's a terrible feeling. And then also, a lot of people don't realize how much work a puppy or kitten is. Like you have to teach that, like it's a baby, you have to teach it everything. And it's time consuming. They take a lot of your time, a lot of your energy. When adults are just as cute, but can be a lot less work. And sometimes they're already trained to some extent. Like if you get a cat or dog from a shelter, most likely like a dog will probably know basic commands, probably be potty trained already, and similar with cats, they're probably already litter box trained. So it can take a lot of like if you don't have a lot of time on your hands, then that's probably what you should be going for anyway. But yeah, just adopt and help the problem instead of adding to it.
There are certain dog breeds that have a stigma around them, one of them being Pitbulls. What is your say on that?
Yeah, with pit bulls, there's a lot of stigma around them as a breed. I just want to say first, right off the bat, there are no bad dogs. There are only bad owners, bad humans. Because a dog, even a cat, is a product of their environment. If you provide a structured, loving, and stable home for your pet, then you will see that reflected in that dog or cat's behavior. But when you have people that abuse animals and train them to be aggressive, um, then that's what you're gonna see. But no breed is just bad. Like it's so ridiculous. It's so stupid. My bishop, he's 70 pounds. He's a big guy. And when I walk him, people will cross the street or stand as far away from us as possible, which I do understand. Like if you don't know a dog, you have every right, give the dog its space because you don't know them. But you know a chihuahua can be just as aggressive. Like it just doesn't matter. The size has nothing to do with it. So it's one of those unfortunate things that I think that, people can only really get over that by interacting with a dog in like a breed that they think to be naturally aggressive and just seeing that that's just not the case.
What is your opinion on taking cats outdoors on a leash and harness? Is it all right according to you?
I used to take Oliver when he was about 4 or 5 months old. We lived in a place that we had access to a backyard, and just like I don't know, just messing around. Like I just thought it'd be funny to take him out on a leash because even more so than he is now, when Oliver was a kitten, he was super brave, super adventurous and curious, and he just wanted to do everything. So I took him out and he loved it. He would love walking around, smelling the grass. He would scratch trees, chase leaves that were flying around in the wind. It was such an enriching experience for both of us, and he had a blast. Now that he's older, he's a little more cautious and he doesn't enjoy it as much anymore. But we've also moved since then, so we don't have that same access. And, cats are very sensitive to change. So I think that that has a lot to do with it. Like he just doesn't feel comfortable in a new environment outside. But a couple things to consider is you want to make sure that you're paying attention to your cat's comfort level. If you have a cat that's really scared and anxious and doesn't like react well to change, then just be very careful. Even if your cat is adventurous and you still want to be careful, do not rush them because if you force a cat into a situation where they don't feel safe, they will react negatively. And cats, it's so easy for cats to slip out of collars and harnesses and get away. And once they do, I mean, God forbid they get hit by a car or you just lose them altogether, and you don't want to risk that. So take it slow, don't rush them. Make sure you have the appropriate gear. You want to get, my favorite was like a harness that had uh, like a mechanism where if the cat would pull, the harness would get tighter around the chest and shoulders so that they couldn't slip out like the little Houdinis that they are. So that if, let's say you do take them outside and they freak out, there's a less likely chance that they'll get out of there. But overall, I think it can be a super like enriching experience and fun and a chance for your cat to like get in touch with their um the great outdoors, which most cats, especially like city cats, don't get to do.
Do you have any tips to be more eco-friendly with pets?
Being eco-friendly with products like poop bags. Get biodegradable poop bags. The ones that we use, I believe the brand is Earth Rated. But you can find any brand, but you can just get like eco-friendly poop bags, eco-friendly litter, like soy litter, pine litter, um even like yesterday, I think it's called Yesterday's News, where it's like shredded newspaper, cat litter, rather than like clay that isn't eco-friendly. um and just recycle like things that you no longer want or don't need, for like old plastic food containers, old clothes, leashes, harnesses, toys. Instead of just throwing those away, like if they're still usable, donate them to your local shelters, because there are a ton of dogs and cats out there who don't mind playing with a toy just because it's like a little banged up or dingy. And then it's not like you're just tossing it away for it to wind up in a landfill. So just simple things like that can make a whole lot of difference.
Do you have any advice for first-time dog owners? Any mistakes that they should avoid? And any advice for first-time cat owners? And same thing, any mistakes that they should avoid?
So the advice that I would give for first time dog owners is pretty much the same that I would do for cat owners. So I'm just gonna answer this one like together. First and foremost, do your research. Do your research. Don't choose your breed based on looks or just what you think is cute. Think about what breed and age will fit best into your lifestyle. So you want to consider things like size, energy level, strength, grooming, temperament. These are all very, very, very important. Um, you don't want to just get a dog that you think is cute, but then will grow up, to be bigger than you anticipated or have a higher energy level than you have the time to accommodate. Very important. When you have a dog, you I think it's important to get like obedience training from the start. It's up to you as the owner. It's your responsibility to show your dog or even cat like what is expected of them, because they're new to your household. So they don't know. You need to show them what's right and what's wrong, what behavior is appropriate, what behavior is not appropriate. Um, and a lot of times you see that people, and I get it, you get a new pet, you're excited, everything they do is cute in the beginning, right? Jumping up here, jumping on counters, on people, barking, all of that is super cute in the beginning. You're excited. And then as time goes on, these behaviors are become less cute and they're not desirable, right? 'Cause they can be a little destructive or loud, and things like that you don't want. So from the beginning, you need to set boundaries and you need to stick to them. Super, super important to do that. If you do that from the beginning, then the pet knows what's expected of them from the jump, and you don't risk like confusing them, because if they're allowed to do these things initially and then a few months down the line you're punishing them for those same behaviors, you're sending the wrong messages. They're confused. And a lot of people will resort to like punishment, like negative punishments, like yelling, uh, shot collars, spray bottles, crate timeouts, and all these things. And your dog, your cat does not understand why you're doing this now. All you're doing is confusing them and you're destroying the bond between you two. So it's best if you just establish the rules from the beginning and stick to them. And if you need help, look for training. There's a lot of resources out there. Your vet can probably link you with a, trainer or behavioralist. And in the long run, you'll be happy you did it. Another thing, when you're getting a pet, realize that no matter what age you get them, you need to invest your time in them. And one important way of doing this is to exercise your pet. And I don't just mean like for dogs, taking them like on their potty walk. I mean getting toys and playing with your dog and with your cat. You need to, get a rope toy and play tug of war. Get your cat a feather toy and have them jump around for like, it could be 15, 20 minutes a day. But what you're doing there is you're strengthening the bond between you two. And then you're also exercising them mentally, physically. And what you'll see from that is that dogs that get regular exercise, and cats as well, are better behaved and happier because they're not bored. You don't want a bored pet is a depressed pet, is a destructive pet. But when they're exercised properly and also mentally, don't forget, they also like you can get puzzle games. You can hide treats around the house and have them hunt them down. Just little things like that will make all the difference. Um, and then also get health insurance for your pet. You will pay upfront every month, but if your cat gets sick or if your dog gets into an accident, you'll be so happy that you have that because vet care can be very pricey and not everyone, can just shell out a couple thousand for an emergency surgery. You'll be happy you have that. Uh, and in that same vein, talk to your vet about proper nutrition for your pet. Make sure they stay up to date on vaccines and get regular physicals. This is part of the maintenance of your pet because if you take care of them properly and regularly, you'll either catch any potential illnesses early on or prevent it altogether because they are in good, because you are like properly treating them. Um, there's no reason not to do it. Just go to your vet, get health insurance for your pet, and you'll just be happy in the long run you did. You'll probably actually end up saving money as opposed to someone who doesn't have health insurance.
Is it easy to make dogs and cats get along in one home?
This depends on the dog and honestly the cat and also like how you as an owner handle the situation. When you're first making introductions, you don't want to force it. Don't force them to be friends because all you're going to do is like start that relationship off on a bad foot and they'll just have like this negative association with each other. Instead, what you want to do is just build some positive vibes. Like you can give them treats when they're near each other. You can play with them near each other and then they'll say, okay, well, when this guy's around, good things happen. I get treats, I get played with. And that can help ease any tension. Also, it's very important to make sure that your pets have a safe place to go to if they feel overwhelmed. So for cats, you want to give them, have like maybe a couple cat trees where the dog can't get to them. Like if the cat's feeling overwhelmed or annoyed. Or even maybe just have like a little baby gate somewhere that you can separate them for a bit if you see that the situation's a little tense. You want them to have places in your home where they feel safe because nothing is more dangerous than an anxious animal that feels like they're being backed into a corner. That's when you're gonna start to see things like aggression and fighting. And if possible, you just trust me, you want to avoid that altogether. Um, yeah, thank you so much for, having me on here. This was a lot of fun. I enjoyed answering these questions. I love talking about cats and dogs. Honestly, I think I said this already, but I could do this all day. So thank you so much, and see you next time.
Thank you so very much for coming on here and giving your valuable insights. Thank you for taking out the time and putting in the effort to make this episode possible. Hope you have a wonderful day ahead and all the very best. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope that you have a great day.